In the heart of Tokyo's bustling Ginza district, something extraordinary happens. Out of nowhere, a mysterious gate appears, opening a pathway to a whole new world. But this world isn't a peaceful one. Mythical creatures, led by warriors in ancient Roman armor, come charging out, attacking innocent people in the streets. Amidst the chaos, a JSDF reservist named Yoji Itami steps up to protect the civilians. With the help of the police, they evacuate everyone to the safety of the imperial palace. Itami's bravery doesn't go unnoticed. He's promoted to first lieutenant and hailed as a national hero. But the incident has bigger consequences. The Prime Minister decides that Japan won't sit idly by. They'll send a JSDF task force, supported by the US, through the gate to the mysterious world beyond. Their mission: to explore, capture the attackers, and demand justice. After months of preparation, the task force, led by Itami, finally embarks on its mission. But as soon as they arrive, they're faced with an enemy army, ready for battle. The tension rises as they gear up for a fight that could change everything. Beyond the gate, Itami and his fellow soldiers will face not only a physical battle, but also one within themselves. They'll discover their true strengths and confront their deepest emotions. Along the way, they'll build friendships, challenge their beliefs, and find acceptance in unexpected places. The world they encounter is a sight to behold. Vast landscapes, ancient ruins, and fantastical creatures await them at every turn. It's a visual feast that adds to the wonder and excitement of their journey. Through their conversations, the soldiers share their hopes, fears, and dreams. They support each other, finding solace in their camaraderie amidst the chaos. Together, they'll redefine what it means to be heroes and discover the power of unity. In the land surrounding the gate at Alness Hill, a clash between armies unfolds. The mighty empire sends its forces to confront the Japanese stationed there, confident in their strength. But to their shock, the JSDF's advanced artillery proves devastating, obliterating the empire's army with ease. Emperor Molt, realizing the gravity of the situation, calls upon the vassal states to launch an attack. However, this turns out to be a calculated move by the emperor himself. The vassal states suffer heavy casualties, ensuring they cannot exploit the empire's weakened military. Meanwhile, as tensions mount and the possibility of a JSDF advance looms, Yoji Itami is given a crucial role. He's assigned to lead the newly formed 3rd Recon Unit, tasked with surveying the nearby cities and points of interest. Itami's character develops as he takes on this leadership role, facing the challenges that lie ahead. Their journey takes them through the village of Koda, a humble settlement with its secrets. But as they continue their mission, a shocking sight greets them: a colossal fire dragon ravaging the nearby forest, leaving destruction in its wake. The conflict and tension rise as they witness the devastation caused by this mythical creature. During the chaos, Itami's compassion leads him to search for survivors. It's during this search that he stumbles upon something extraordinary: a young elf woman, unconscious and hidden deep within a well. This encounter not only adds emotional depth to the story, but also sets the stage for a deeper exploration of acceptance and strength. Taking the unconscious elf woman with them, the 3rd Recon Unit makes its way back to the village of Koda. As they arrive, they discover the villagers in a state of distress upon learning about the destructive fire dragon. Recognizing the danger, the villagers make a collective decision to evacuate, seeking assistance from the Japanese soldiers. This creates a sense of urgency and conflict as they work together to ensure the safety of everyone involved. During the evacuation, the group, now including all the villagers, receives unexpected reinforcements in the form of 2 mages, Lilela Lalina and her master Kato L. Altestan. This introduction of magical characters adds a new dimension to the story, enhancing the visual description and opening doors for the exploration of fantastical elements. The mages bring their unique abilities and knowledge, contributing to the conflict and tension that surround the group. Amidst the chaos, a group of bandits seizes the opportunity to attack the vulnerable villagers. However, their plans quickly unravel as they are mercilessly defeated by Rory Mercury, an apostle of the dark god Emery. This encounter brings forth a clash of strengths and establishes Rory as a formidable character. The conflict escalates, showcasing both the physical and ideological clashes between different factions. As the journey continues, Itami's party, along with the refugees and newfound allies, comes face to face with Rory. Surprisingly, Rory decides to join and accompany them on their mission. This unexpected alliance adds complexity to the relationships between the characters and introduces further conflict and tension within the group. Dialogue exchanges and interactions between the characters contribute to their development as they grapple with their differences and find common ground. However, their progress is interrupted by the re-emergence of the fire dragon, which launches a vicious attack on the convoy. The stakes are raised as numerous villagers lose their lives, intensifying the emotional depth of the narrative. Itami's party takes decisive action by using an anti-tank rocket to cripple the dragon, forcing it to retreat. This moment of triumph injects a surge of strength and hope into the story, emphasizing the themes of resilience and determination. After parting ways with the villagers, Atami makes a crucial decision. He chooses to lead the remaining refugees, along with Rory, the elf woman, and Lily, back to the safety of Alness Hill. This decision not only shapes Atami's character development, but also reinforces the themes of acceptance and strength as he takes responsibility for the well-being of those under his care. The 3rd Recon Unit makes its way back to Alness Hill, now transformed into an advanced JSDF base. Recognizing the dire situation of the refugees, Atami secures authorization to provide them with much-needed shelter. This decision showcases character development and a sense of empathy within Atami, highlighting his commitment to helping others. Meanwhile, Princess Pina Colada, hailing from the Empire, becomes increasingly curious about the JSDF and their remarkable achievements. Intrigued, she takes it upon herself to personally investigate the situation, adding a layer of conflict and tension to the story. Back at Alness Hill, the refugees gradually adjust to their new lives alongside the Japanese soldiers. However, an intriguing mystery arises when Tukaluna Marceau, the elf girl, repeatedly requests supplies not only for herself, but also for an unknown male who is not officially listed among the guests. This enigma adds suspense and curiosity, driving the narrative forward and deepening the emotional depth. Recognizing that they cannot rely on the JSDF's generosity indefinitely, Lillet suggests a practical solution. She proposes collecting scales from the dragons slain by the JSDF, which can be sold for a substantial price in the local markets. This plot development highlights the characters' resourcefulness and their ability to adapt to their circumstances, showcasing themes of strength and resilience. Simultaneously, on the other side of the gate, the Japanese Diet seeks an audience with Atami regarding the battle against the Fire Dragon. However, due to the timing of the summons, Atami and his companions, including Rory, Lily, and Tuka, have already embarked on a journey to the city of Italica. Their mission is to trade the collected dragon scales, seeking both economic benefit and vital information about the JSDF. This convergence of different storylines heightens the sense of anticipation and builds towards a climactic encounter. Atami's party reaches the bustling city of Italica just in time to witness a fierce assault by a bandit force composed of deserters from the defeated armies at Alness. Led by Princess Pina, the city's forces valiantly fight back, but it becomes clear that they lack the strength to hold off the bandits until reinforcements arrive. This predicament puts Pina in a difficult situation, filled with conflict and tension. In a fateful encounter, Pina crosses paths with the 3rd Recon Unit and learns of their capabilities. Understanding the gravity of the city's plight, Atami makes a courageous decision to aid in its defense. He agrees with Pina's plan, positioning himself and his soldiers on the vulnerable side of the walls, the south gate, to act as a decoy. This strategic move demonstrates Atami's character development and his willingness to put himself at risk for the greater good. However, the enemy proves to be cunning and refuses to fall into their trap. Instead, they launch a devastating attack on the main force at the east gate, catching them off guard. The visual description of the crumbling defenses and the intense battle scenes heighten the conflict and raise the stakes for our characters. As the city's defenses are breached, despair looms over Princess Pina. This emotional depth adds to the tension and emphasizes the dire situation they find themselves in. It becomes a pivotal moment where the strength and resolve of the characters will be tested. Rory, Atami, and their trusted comrades, Akira Tomita and Shino Kuribayashi, embark on a mission to join Princess Pina and support her troops. Recognizing the urgency of the situation, the JSDF dispatches a helicopter unit to assist the 3rd Recon Unit in defending Italica. The timely arrival of the helicopters, accompanied by the powerful melody of Wagner's Ride of the Valkyries blaring from loudspeakers, adds an intense and visually striking element to the scene as they effortlessly annihilate the invaders. Meanwhile, Lily successfully sells the collected dragon scales, and Atami engages in negotiations with Pina and the people of Italica. Despite the trivial compensation terms offered, Atami ensures that the sovereignty of Italica remains intact, emphasizing the theme of acceptance and strength in preserving alliances amidst chaos and conflict. As the 3rd Recon Unit prepares to depart for Alness Hill, they unexpectedly cross paths with Pina's Order of the Rose Knights. Unaware of the recently established peace treaty, the Knights mistake Atami and his team for threats and capture him. In a tense moment, Atami, choosing to prioritize peace over violence, orders his unit to leave without him, sacrificing his freedom for the sake of avoiding further conflict. This decision showcases his character development and willingness to make personal sacrifices for the greater good. In Italica, Princess Pina expresses her concern to her knights, Bozes and Panache, about capturing Atami, fearing that it may provoke the JSDF and jeopardize the fragile treaty they recently established. Meanwhile, Atami receives treatment for his wounds from the formal family staff. Sensing the urgency to rescue Atami, Rory, Lily, Tuka, and some members of the 3rd Unit secretly return to Italica. To their surprise, they are warmly welcomed by the formal maids, leading to a small social gathering where they reunite with Atami. In a separate turn of events, Pina, desperate to seek forgiveness from Atami, instructs Bozes to spend the night with him. However, Bozes becomes angered when she witnesses Atami enjoying himself and seemingly ignoring her. Fearing that her actions may have worsened the situation, Pina and Bozes join the 3rd Recon Unit on their journey back to Alness Hill to personally apologize to Atami's superiors, with Lely serving as an interpreter. During their visit, Pina and Bozes meet with Lieutenant General Hazama, Atami's commanding officer, to express their remorse. Meanwhile, Atami extends an invitation to Tuka, urging her to accompany him to Japan as a representative of the special region to meet the Japanese diet. The following day, Atami, Shino, Akira, Rory, Lily, Tuka, Pina, and Bozes pass through the gate and venture into Japan together. Atami and his group find themselves in Tokyo, a city that leaves Pina and the others in awe of its sights and people. They meet Komikado, a public security agent who guides them through their different destinations. Atami, Rory, Lily, and Tuka head to the Japanese diet, while Pina and Bozes engage in discussions with members of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, focusing on the upcoming peace talks. In the Japanese diet, Atami's group faces questioning from the chairwoman of the investigation committee regarding the Fire Dragon attack. The committee accuses the JSDF of failing to protect the refugees who lost their lives during the incident. However, Rory, Lily, and Tuka passionately defend the JSDF, recounting how the Japanese soldiers saved numerous lives from the monstrous creature. Their heartfelt testimony challenges the accusations and sheds light on the heroic efforts of the JSDF. After the intense proceedings, Atami's and Pina's groups reunite in the subway, seeking to escape the press and a mysterious group that appears to be targeting the Special Region girls. Concerned about a potential mole leaking their plans, Atami decides to change their course and takes the group to stay with his ex-wife. After sharing all the intricate details with his ex-wife Riza, Atami found solace in her agreement to assist him in navigating the complex situation. They devised a plan for Riza to take Rory, Lily, and Tuka on a shopping trip the following day, providing a distraction and keeping them away from the imminent turmoil. Atami knew he could rely on Riza's resourcefulness and ability to handle the girls. In the meantime, Akira, Pina, and Bozes ventured to the library, curious about the boys-loved manga that Riza had recommended. The unconventional choice sparked their interest, leading them down an unexpected literary exploration. The visit provided a brief respite from the mounting tension, allowing them a moment of light-hearted camaraderie amidst the looming danger. Itami, on the other hand, reconnected with his old friend Defense Minister Kanu Teru. As trusted allies, Teru assigned Itami the crucial task of bringing the Special Region guests to a secure hot spring inn, guarded by the formidable Japanese Special Forces Group, SFG. The hot spring inn was intended to provide a sanctuary where they could find relaxation and respite from the turmoil that surrounded them. However, the tranquility of the inn was suddenly shattered when 3 different Black Ops teams infiltrated the area, triggering intense battles with the vigilant SFG. The SFG swiftly identified 2 of the operatives as Americans, adding a layer of complexity to the unfolding situation. The unexpected intrusion left Itami and his comrades on high alert, their senses heightened as they prepared for a potential confrontation. In a surprising turn of events, the Japanese Prime Minister found himself facing blackmail from the U.S. President, who demanded that the SFG cease their attacks on the Black Ops teams. The president's motive became clear as he aimed to secure the Special Region guests for themselves. The pressure on the Prime Minister intensified, forcing him to make a difficult decision. Ultimately, the Prime Minister ordered Teru to instruct his men to stand down, complying with the president's demands. However, he revealed a strategic countermove, his plan to resign from his position, effectively nullifying the leverage the president held over him. The Prime Minister's bold move showcased his commitment to protecting the interests of Japan and its allies. As the 3 Black Ops teams closed in on the secure Hot Spring Inn, chaos seemed inevitable. Amidst the mounting tension and uncertainty, Itami found himself encountering a drunken and flirtatious Rory, adding a touch of unexpected humor amidst the perilous situation. Itami's focus remained steadfast, and he knew he needed to stay vigilant and maintain control of the situation, even amidst the distractions. The stage was set for a dramatic showdown, where alliances would be tested, loyalties would be questioned, and the fate of the Special Region guests would hang in the balance. Itami and his comrades were prepared to face whatever challenges lay ahead, standing united in their determination to protect their friends and ensure a peaceful resolution to the escalating crisis. As the intimate moment between Rory and Itami reached its crescendo, their bliss was abruptly shattered by the piercing ring of a phone call. Itami reluctantly answered the call, only to find Teru, his subordinate, on the other end of the line, delivering urgent news. The tranquility of the inn was instantly replaced by a tense atmosphere as the gravity of the situation unfolded. No sooner had Itami ended the call than a sudden intrusion shattered the silence. The U.S. Black Ops team, tasked with protecting Itami and his group, stormed into the inn. However, their arrival was met with unexpected resistance as the rival teams from Russia and China clashed with them in a flurry of bullets and tactical prowess. The once peaceful inn became a battlefield, engulfed in a three-way firefight. In the chaos, Rory, ever the formidable warrior, swiftly joined the fray. Her deadly skills and supernatural abilities turned the tide, leaving only her standing amidst the carnage. The clash between the international forces showcased the complexity of the political landscape surrounding the special region, where multiple nations vied for control and influence. Seizing a momentary lull in the chaos, Itami's group managed to secure a van from the retreating Russian team and made their escape back to Ginza. However, with concerns that the foreign agents might launch another attack, Risa, the resourceful member of their group, took matters into her own hands. She took to the internet and posted a message, alerting the public that the Special Region girls would be visiting the Ginza Memorial. The message resonated with the citizens, and word spread like wildfire. A large crowd gathered at Ginza, eager to meet the girls and show their support. The unexpected turnout created a shield of unwitting protection around the Special Region girls, hindering the foreign agents' nefarious plans to kidnap them. Unbeknownst to the agents, the swift and discreet actions of public security resulted in their arrest at the scene, exposing their true intentions. To further expose the agents and reveal the depth of their malevolence, Shino, one of the Special Region girls, used her connection with her sister Nanami, a news reporter, to share the news of the previous kidnapping attempts on live television. The revelation sent shockwaves through the international community, forcing the leaders of the United States, China, and Russia to cancel their kidnapping operation and reassess their strategies. After bidding a heartfelt farewell to Risa and paying their respects at the Ginza Memorial, the Special Region girls embarked on their journey back to the gate. The experiences they had in Japan had given them a newfound understanding of the devastating consequences of the Empire's war with Japan. Moved by this realization, Pina, a prominent figure in the Empire, took it upon herself to return to the capital and initiate peace talks between the warring factions. With the gate serving as a bridge between two worlds, the stakes had never been higher. The actions and decisions of individuals from both sides would shape the course of history and determine the fate of countless lives. The journey towards peace and understanding had only just begun, and the challenges that lay ahead would test the resolve and determination of those involved. 5 months have passed since the gate opened, and the Alnus refugee camp has transformed into a bustling town and trading hub. People from Earth bring their goods to trade with the Empire, creating a lively marketplace. Meanwhile, in the imperial capital, Pina introduces Koji Sugawara, the new ambassador from the Japanese Ministry of Foreign Affairs, to Lord Cicero, an influential noble from the Empire's pro-war faction. Pina strikes a deal with Lord Cicero, securing his cooperation for the upcoming peace talks in exchange for the release of his nephew, who is currently held as a prisoner of war in Japan. Back in Alnus, Tuka continues to search the city, desperately hoping to find her father and refusing to accept the painful truth that he is no longer alive. Concerned for Tuka's well-being, Itami and his friends gather in a tavern to discuss how to help her. Kurokawa suggests that they must confront Tuka with the truth, but Itami disagrees, believing that they cannot shoulder the responsibility of protecting her forever. As Itami and Rory engage in conversation, enjoying drinks together, their moment is interrupted by the arrival of a dark elf woman named Yao Ha-Doshi. Mistaking Rory for a child, Yao Ha-Doshi scolds Itami for giving alcohol to a young girl. Annoyed by the intrusion, Rory mischievously plays along with the misunderstanding, causing Itami to flee the scene. Unbeknownst to Yao Ha-Doshi, Itami is one of the men in green she has been seeking. She hopes to request their assistance in protecting her people, who are under attack from the fire dragon. The following day, Itami prepares to visit the JSDF's base in Alnus, while also setting his sights on the imperial capital. The narrative provides opportunities for character development as Tuka struggles with her grief and denial, and Itami grapples with his responsibility towards her. Emotional depth is explored through Tuka's persistent search for her father and the delicate balance between facing the truth and protecting her. Conflict and tension arise from the contrasting opinions within Itami's group regarding how to handle Tuka's situation. Yo finds it difficult to communicate with the Japanese soldiers, as they are unfamiliar with the local language. Her attempts to seek their help go awry when she is mistaken for a prostitute and gets into a confrontation with thugs, leading to her arrest by the military police. However, Lily, who has made significant progress in mastering magic using Earth's advanced scientific knowledge, is summoned by the JSDF to serve as Yo's interpreter. General Hazama learns about Yo's predicament and explains that he cannot assist her. The reason is that her homeland, Schwartz Forest, is situated in the Eld Kingdom, beyond the Empire's borders, as Japan is currently engaged in peace talks with the Empire. Sending troops across their borders would provoke a war and undermine the fragile peace they are striving to achieve. Devastated by this news, Yo receives sympathy from some compassionate soldiers. Lieutenant Akira Yanagita suggests that Yao should seek help from Atami. Meanwhile, Atami and his men carry out their mission of delivering goods from Earth to Pina and Hamilton, aiming to gain the support of more nobles in their pursuit of peace with Japan. Before departing, Atami unwittingly gives Pina a yaoi doujin translated by Boses in Panache. Little does he know that the doujin contains newspaper clippings highlighting his previous heroic actions. As Atami returns to the base with hopes of fostering peace between the warring factions, Lily narrates that the conflict is far from resolved. This segment of the story incorporates character development as Yu faces setbacks and seeks help, and Lily continues to grow in her magical abilities. Emotional depth is explored through Yao's disappointment and the soldier's empathy toward her situation. Conflict arises from the political complexities and limitations that prevent immediate assistance to Yao. Visual descriptions enhance the scenes involving Yao's arrest, the delivery of goods, and the exchange between Atami and Pina. Dialogue drives the interactions, conveying Yao's desperation, the soldier's compassion, and the ongoing peace efforts. The theme of peace and its challenges is highlighted, along with Atami's unwitting connection to his past heroics. The pacing and structure maintain engagement as the narrative transitions between Yao's struggles, Atami's mission, and Lily's narration, leaving the reader with a sense that the war's resolution remains uncertain. In the imperial capital, Pina hosts a private party attended by a group of senators led by Lord Cicero and his families. Witnessing the impressive weapons demonstrations by the 3rd Recon Unit, Lord Cicero realizes the futility of fighting against the Japanese and decides to pursue negotiations for peace. However, Crown Prince Zorzal, Pina's older brother, discovers the meeting and rides with his entourage to confront the senators for treason. Alerted by Atami's scouts about the approaching prince, the 3rd Recon Unit swiftly acts to assist the senators in escaping unnoticed before Prince Zorzal arrives. In Akusho, the capital's red light district, Mary joins the JSDF team stationed there, utilizing her nursing skills to provide aid to the residents who seek assistance at the outpost. Meanwhile, Yao endeavors to gather information about the people important to Atami from a local source. Atami, Chino, and Akira, on the other hand, stay at Pina's palace. Back at the Akusho outpost, the demi-human prostitutes warn Mary about an imminent earth shake. Recognizing this as a phenomenon akin to animals on Earth sensing earthquakes in advance, Yutabaru, the commanding officer, urges the soldiers in the special region to evacuate the civilians before the earthquake strikes. This segment of the story introduces a private party where political negotiations take place, highlighting Lord Cicero's realization and Prince Zorzal's opposition to peace. The character development of Mary is explored as she joins the JSDF team and uses her nursing skills to aid the locals. Yo's quest for information adds intrigue and curiosity to the narrative. The Akusho outpost serves as a setting with its unique dynamics, including the warning from the demi-human prostitutes and Yutabaru's proactive decision. Dialogue plays a significant role in conveying the tensions and motivations of the characters. Themes of peace, political strife, and natural disasters intertwine, providing layers of conflict and tension. Visual descriptions immerse the reader in the imperial capital and Akusho, while pacing and structure maintain engagement and suspense, particularly with the impending earthquake. Pina, the princess of the empire, extended an invitation to Sugawara, Atami, Shino, and Akira, the Japanese delegates, to meet with her father, the emperor, at the Grand Imperial Palace. The purpose of the meeting was to seek their advice on how to effectively handle and mitigate the destructive force of earthquakes, a recurring threat in their land. However, to Pina and the Japanese delegates' surprise, another unexpected guest arrived at the Imperial Palace, Zorzal, the ambitious and power-hungry son of the emperor. Zorzal had come to warn his father of an impending earthquake, as foretold by his slave, Noriko. The revelation left Pina and the Japanese delegates in shock, for Noriko was none other than a fellow Japanese citizen. Infuriated by Zorzal's cruel treatment of Noriko, Atami's anger got the better of him, and he landed a solid punch on Zorzal, rescuing the defenseless girl. Zorzal's bodyguards, loyal to their master, attempted to retaliate, but they were swiftly and decisively neutralized by Shino's expert marksmanship. Atami and Shino, fueled by their desire to find and rescue their fellow countrymen, resorted to interrogating Zorzal for information about other Japanese captives. However, their efforts were interrupted by Chuel, another slave under Zorzel's control, who intervened to protect her master. The confrontation reached a stalemate, leaving the Japanese delegates frustrated but determined to uncover the truth. Sugawara, recognizing the urgency of the situation, warned the emperor of the potential repercussions if the kidnapped Japanese citizens were not immediately returned to Japan. With his message delivered, the Japanese launched an airstrike on the Imperial Senate building as a further demonstration of their resolve and to convey the importance of finding a peaceful resolution. Meanwhile, as Chuel tended to Zorzel's wounds, his younger brother, Diabo, learned of their father's intentions to make Zorzel his heir. The emperor believed that he could easily control Zorzel from the shadows once he abdicated the throne. This revelation added another layer of complexity to the already tense political landscape within the empire. Unaware of the tragic fate that had befallen her parents during the Ginza incident, Noriko arrived at the JSDF Alness base, hoping to find a way back to Japan. Her longing for home and her search for answers remained unresolved, adding to the emotional turmoil she carried. Meanwhile, Tuka, a member of the Elven race, continued her relentless search for her missing father. Her quest took her through treacherous lands, but each endeavor proved fruitless, leaving her with a growing sense of desperation and sorrow. As the pieces of this intricate puzzle continued to fall into place, the stakes grew higher for Pina, the Japanese delegates, and their respective allies. The quest for answers, justice, and the safe return of their people pushed them further into the depths of a complex and politically charged world. Within the imperial capital, Diabo and Pina received startling news. Zorzel had been officially declared the heir to the throne. This revelation shook them to their core, for they were aware of their father's intentions to control Zorzel as a puppet ruler. However, Zorzel, far from being a compliant heir, harbored ambitions of his own and refused to succumb to his father's plans. Unbeknownst to Diabo and Pina, Zorzel was under the manipulative influence of Chuel, a slave seeking revenge against the empire. Chuel devised a diabolical plan to bring destruction upon the empire by orchestrating the murder of Noriko, framing Pina for the crime, and provoking the wrath of the Japanese Self-Defense Forces, JSDF. Meanwhile, at the Alness base, Yanagita approached Atami with a dangerous mission, to travel to the Eld Kingdom and eliminate the formidable fire dragon. However, Atami, concerned for the safety of his soldiers, refused to put their lives at unnecessary risk. He was unwilling to embark on a mission that could potentially lead to devastating consequences. However, amidst these tumultuous events, Tuka, consumed by grief and despair, had descended into madness. Yao, a comrade, confronted her with the truth. Her father had been killed by the very fire dragon that Itami was being asked to confront. Tuka's fragile psyche shattered, and in her distorted state of mind, she came to believe that Itami was her father. The revelation further pushed her toward the edge of insanity. In a confrontation with Itami, Yao revealed her desperate plea for help. She implored him to aid her people, even if it meant causing pain to those close to him. Itami, aware of the gravity of the situation, made the difficult decision to assume the role of Tuka's father temporarily, hoping to provide her with the stability she desperately needed. However, Tuka's descent into madness continued unabated, posing a threat to her well-being and those around her. Itami realized that the only way to help Tuka recover and end her delusions was to confront and seek vengeance against the fire dragon. Driven by a sense of duty and empathy, Itami resolved to embark on this perilous journey. Rather than traveling to the imperial capital with his men, Itami assembled a team consisting of Chuka, Rory, Lily, and Yao. Equipped with supplies provided by Yanagita, they set off in a Humvee, determined to face the formidable fire dragon and bring an end to Tuka's suffering. The path ahead was fraught with danger, uncertainty, and the weight of their respective burdens. Itami and his companions were propelled forward by their unwavering resolve to confront the fire dragon and bring justice to those who had suffered. The journey would test their courage, resilience, and the bonds that held them together as they ventured into the unknown. In the bustling Alness refugee town, Dalila, a skilled warrior bunny working at the local bar, received a fateful order from her master, the Formal clan. Unbeknownst to Dalila, the order to assassinate Noriko had been forged by Chuel, the former queen of Dalila's tribe, who sought revenge against the empire. As the pieces of this intricate puzzle began to fall into place, General Hazama, upon learning of Itami's quest to confront the fire dragon, swiftly formed a task force to assist. Recognizing the immense threat posed by the formidable creature, Hazama understood the importance of pooling resources and expertise to increase their chances of success. In the shadows of strategy and negotiation, Yanagita and King Duran struck a deal that would grant the JSDF permission to pass through the Eld Kingdom. Their collaboration would prove instrumental in facilitating Itami's mission and ensuring a united front against the fire dragon. Delilah's attempt to assassinate Noriko was thwarted when Yanagita discovered their sinister plot. The confrontation between the two ended in a fierce battle, leaving both wounded from their clash. The incident caught the attention of the JSDF, prompting an investigation into the assassination attempt. With the assistance of the Formal Clan, the JSDF uncovered crucial information. It was revealed that the Formal Clan butler had forged the letter under orders from Zorzel's faction. The web of deceit was untangled further, shedding light on the machinations of those within the Empire who sought to undermine peace and stability. To gain deeper insights into their plans, Furuta Hitoshi, one of Atami's soldiers, went undercover as a chef within the imperial capital, skillfully maneuvering to earn Zorzel's favor. Meanwhile, Atami's party finally arrived at Yao's village, where they were met with anticipation and hope. As Yao ventured off to greet her people, Atami and the rest of the group found themselves surrounded by a group of dark elf guards, their intentions unclear. However, their predicament took an unexpected turn when the legendary fire dragon made a grand appearance, casting an ominous shadow over their encounter. The stage was set for a clash of powers and ideologies. Atami and his companions stood at the precipice of a monumental challenge, their strength and determination tested in the face of overwhelming odds. The fate of not only their own lives but the lives of those they held dear hung in the balance. Their every action was now crucial to the unfolding narrative of their quest against the fire dragon. Having successfully driven the formidable fire dragon away, Atami and his group sought to solidify their victory. They journeyed to the mountains, accompanied by a group of valiant dark elf volunteers, to reach the very heart of the fire dragon's nest. With Rory positioned as a guardian at the nest's entrance, Atami and his comrades embarked on a daring plan. Utilizing the resources at hand, including C4 explosives and enchanted weaponry, they meticulously set up a fragmentation bomb beneath the fire dragon's nest. They intended to catch the beast off guard and deliver a decisive blow. However, their careful preparations were disrupted when the fire dragon, in a swift and ferocious assault, descended upon them, obliterating most of the dark elf volunteers. Amidst the chaos and carnage, Tuka, plagued by denial and grief, finally came to accept the painful truth. Her father was gone. In a moment of awakening, she tapped into the depths of her magical abilities, conjuring powerful lightning magic that unintentionally ignited the C4 explosive. The resulting explosion claimed the life of the fire dragon, ending its reign of terror. As the survivors made their harrowing escape from the treacherous mountain, they discovered Rory, the divine apostle, heavily injured from her battle with Giselle, a rival apostle. Giselle emerged from the shadows, revealing her sinister role in awakening the fire dragon. Her motives stemmed from a desire to capture Rory for her patron, the underworld goddess Hardy. Giselle had employed the fire dragon's two hatchlings as accomplices in her malevolent scheme. With Giselle's dragons in hot pursuit, Atami and his group found themselves in grave danger. However, their peril was swiftly averted when the JSDF task force arrived, unleashing their formidable firepower to eliminate the pursuing dragons. The decisive intervention of the JSDF forces forced Giselle into a hasty retreat, her plans thwarted for the time being. The events that unfolded were a testament to the courage and resilience of Atami and his comrades. Their quest against the fire dragon had not only brought them face to face with a formidable foe, but had also unveiled the treachery and machinations of rival apostles. Yet through their unwavering determination and the timely arrival of the JSDF, they emerged victorious, their unity and resourcefulness prevailing against all odds. As they regrouped and tended to their wounded, Atami and his group contemplated the road that lay ahead. Their journey was far from over, and new challenges awaited them. The shadows of the underworld goddess Hardy and her faithful apostle, Giselle, loomed ominously, signaling the trials that lay ahead. However, bolstered by their recent triumph and the unyielding support of the JSDF, Atami and his comrades stood ready to face whatever lay in their path, united in their purpose to protect their world from the encroaching darkness. Despite Atami's punishment for going AWOL during the battle with the fire dragon, his heroic actions did not go unnoticed. Various individuals, recognizing his bravery and selflessness, extended their gratitude and rewarded him for his remarkable deeds. Inspired by his unwavering dedication, Atami was soon entrusted with a new mission, one that would see him venture alongside Lily, Rory, Tuka, and Yao to scout for valuable resources. Their journey led them to the enchanting magic city of Rondel, where Lily aimed to present her groundbreaking research to her fellow mages. Success in this endeavor would secure her the coveted title of Master, a prestigious rank among magical practitioners. As the group immersed themselves in the vibrant city, they crossed paths with Lily's older sister, Arpeggio, and her mentor, Mimosa Lamer. Their presence added a sense of familiarity and familial connection to the already eventful journey. Meanwhile, in the imperial capital, the long-awaited peace talks between Japan and the Empire commenced. Despite Zorzal's seething anger over the failed attempts to assassinate Noriko and undermine the negotiations by framing Pina, the discussions moved forward. The celebration of the Fire Dragon's defeat brought a temporary respite, as the Emperor himself took delight in learning that one of their own, Lily, had played a crucial role in the dragon's downfall. The pride in her achievements swelled within the hearts of the Empire's citizens. However, amidst the jubilation, a sinister plot was set into motion. Chul, fueled by her thirst for revenge and her desire to dismantle the Empire, orchestrated a nefarious scheme in the shadows. With a silent command, she ordered the covert poisoning of the Emperor's wine, casting a shadow of uncertainty and danger over the proceedings. As the peace talks progressed, the Emperor's health suddenly deteriorated. The subtle effects of the poison took hold, threatening the stability of the negotiations and the well-being of the Empire itself. Unbeknownst to the participants, the delicate balance of trust and diplomacy was now threatened by this unforeseen act of treachery. With the fate of the Empire hanging in the balance and Atami's group engrossed in their mission to gather vital resources, the stage was set for a clash between the forces of darkness and the resilience of those determined to protect their world. As alliances were tested, loyalties questioned, and peril lurked around every corner, the true extent of Chul's machinations and the path forward for Atami and his comrades remained uncertain. In this precarious and tumultuous time, the resilience, courage, and unity of the group would be put to the ultimate test. Their actions and decisions would shape the future not only for themselves, but for the Empire and all those who believed in the power of hope and unwavering determination. With the Emperor's health deteriorating and Zorzal seizing the throne, the Empire plunged into a state of turmoil. Zorzal, driven by his thirst for revenge against the Japanese, wasted no time in declaring his intent to avenge the Empire's perceived humiliation. The imperial capital fell under a strict curfew, leaving the JSDF forces in Akusho trapped, and the Japanese ambassadors found themselves placed under house arrest, effectively cutting off their ability to navigate the treacherous political landscape. To Pina's dismay, Zorzal began a ruthless crackdown on the pro-peace faction, ordering their arrest and silencing any voices that opposed his vengeful agenda. As his loyal followers devised plans to attack the Japanese forces using unconventional and morally questionable tactics, the situation grew increasingly dire. Adding to the chaos, Pina's other brother, Daobo, desperate to overthrow Zorzal's reign, sought assistance from external forces in the hopes of restoring stability and justice to the Empire. Meanwhile, in the enchanting city of Rondel, Mimosa, a source of wisdom and insight, revealed a fascinating truth to Atami and his companions. She unveiled a long-held secret about the gate, explaining that every few centuries or millennia, the gods of the special region would open a portal known as the Gate at Almas. Through this portal, beings from different worlds would enter and settle in the special region, accounting for the diverse array of races coexisting within its borders. This revelation shed light on the intricate tapestry of the special region's history and the origins of its inhabitants. As tensions rose within the group, a heated sibling rivalry unfolded between Lily and her sister, Arpeggio. Fueled by envy and frustration, Arpeggio challenged Lily to a magical duel to settle their dispute once and for all. However, the confrontation took an unexpected turn when an assassin targeted Lily, aiming to eliminate her. The timely intervention of Gray, accompanied by another Rose Knight named Shandy, thwarted the assassin's nefarious plot. Gray and Shandy revealed that the assassination attempt was orchestrated by Zorzal himself, driven by his jealousy over Lily's fame and her triumphant defeat of the Flame Dragon. Recognizing the imminent danger they faced, Atami made the difficult decision to prioritize their safety and evade further confrontation. Instead of engaging in a direct battle against overwhelming odds, he chose a strategic retreat, believing that it offered the best chance of survival and regrouping. The group, guided by their resourcefulness and determination, sought to outmaneuver the assassins and find a safer haven away from the clutches of Zorzal's wrath. In the face of mounting threats and the escalating power struggle within the Empire, Atami and his companions embarked on a treacherous journey, navigating a world on the brink of chaos. Their unwavering spirit, combined with their newfound knowledge of the Gate and the complex dynamics at play, became crucial elements in their quest for survival and, ultimately, in shaping the fate of the special region and its delicate balance of power. As Zorzal's oppressive regime tightened its grip on the imperial capital, the secret police continued their relentless pursuit of the pro-peace faction, accusing them of treason and arresting anyone who dared to oppose Zorzal's warmongering agenda. The Japanese government, despite being aware of the unfolding crisis, issued strict orders for their personnel to refrain from direct involvement, including denying sanctuary to the persecuted faction. During chaos and despair, Marquis Kaisel, a member of the pro-peace faction, sought refuge with the Thierry family. However, their temporary sanctuary was shattered when the Oprichnina, Zorzal's brutal enforcers, launched a vicious assault on their home. Faced with overwhelming odds, Sherry Thierry, the daughter of the family, made the difficult decision to aid Castle's escape, while her parents valiantly sacrificed themselves to halt the advance of the merciless attackers. Finding themselves on the run, Sherry and Castle embarked on a perilous journey to seek asylum at the Jade Palace, which had transformed into the Japanese embassy and now enjoyed the protection of the Rose Knights. Within the sanctuary of the palace, bound by a treaty that prevented the Empire from violating its grounds, Sherry hoped to find safety and security. Her eyes turned to Sugawara, whom she regarded as a potential future husband, in the hopes that he would lend them his assistance. However, Sugawara, torn between his inclinations and his duty to his country, initially adhered to the orders of non-interference. The Japanese government, determined to maintain a delicate political balance, emphasized the importance of avoiding direct involvement in the internal affairs of the empire. Yet, witnessing the imminent danger faced by Sherry and Castle at the hands of the operate Nina, Sugawara's resolve wavered, and he made the courageous decision to protect Sherry and take her under his custody. As Sugawara's actions defied the government's directives, a fierce battle erupted between the Rose Knights and the operate Nina within the walls of the Jade Palace. Despite the chaos and bloodshed, Vice Minister Shirayuri, recognizing the gravity of the situation, allowed Sugawara's intervention and immediately reached out to her government to inform them of the unfolding events. The delicate balance between political necessity and humanitarian concerns forced the Japanese authorities to reevaluate their stance and respond accordingly. In this pivotal moment, the fate of Sherry and Castle, as well as the future of the pro-peace faction, hung in the balance. The clash between the Rose Knights and the operate Nina marked a turning point, forcing both the Empire and Japan to confront the consequences of their actions and the potential repercussions of their decisions. As the battle raged on, the delicate web of international diplomacy began to unravel, paving the way for a new chapter in the tumultuous relationship between the two worlds. Amidst the turmoil and uncertainty, the resilience and determination of those fighting for peace and justice served as a glimmer of hope. The outcome of this brutal confrontation would not only shake the lives of those directly involved, but would also reverberate throughout the special region, potentially altering the course of its history and the destiny of its inhabitants.